in Manhattan. So now I'm 3 years out of school and law school, right? I'm in debt up to my eyeballs, and they offer me less money than I was making before I went to law school. So welcome to South Florida. So then the weather's nice though, and there's beaches everywhere.
That whole education thing is overrated.
I was like, this stuff's for the birds. Why did I do all that? Anyway, so here I am with a law degree. Before I found out whether I had passed the bar or not, I found out that I passed a pregnancy test. Or failed it, depending on how you look at it. So here I am, brand new attorney, rookie, who's expected to put in 18-hour days, and I'm eating everything. I'm sleepy all the time. I can't put in even 8 hours, okay? So my boss is not really happy about that, which I could understand, and I also didn't want to be there either. So here we go. I have to be at this job now because obviously, I need a paycheck. Sally Mae came calling. Now she's called Navient, but Sally Mae was my loan person back then. Anyway, so here I am. I'm new lawyer, have a baby, and I'm on maternity leave, and I don't want to go back to work. And I need money. What do you do with that, right? So what did I do with that? One day I'm walking out of Target, just minding my own business with my son in the little cart. And I'm running out of savings. He's about 3 months old. I had about 3 months worth of savings.
Hold on, let me interject. Give me an opinion. You got a law degree, and you don't want to be a lawyer, but you want to use a law degree. Let's take a poll of what the possibilities could be in your punchline. What would you do? What do you think?
Panic.
Okay, let's start that. You need a job. You got a law degree. You're not going to be a Uti?
I would be like a nonprofit lawyer, maybe, work for a nonprofit.
Okay, so maybe you would find another outlet for your law. Okay, that's not so bad. Maybe. What do you think?
Go back to school.
You're loaned up to your eyeball.
Right.
That's probably not
gonna
an option.
happen. I don't think they would approve any more loans on my name anyway, so.
What do you think?
Advise a private company on law matters.
Okay, maybe legal advisor. So all
That was
leaning toward
good.
Law.
Law,
Sandy,
law,
you got
law.
another opinion?
I said go something into business.
Okay. Anything particular?
Finance,
Okay.
Something you're familiar with that the majority of other people would not be.
Okay, so
Alright.
you type
Well,
into
maybe
your
we're getting a
gifts.
little warmer here.
There you go. And so I'm at Target, and a woman offers me a facial with Mary Kay Cosmetics. So now I'm going to tell you how I bought my freedom for $100. So I am at Target. She looks sharp. So I said, I'll give her my number. She didn't look like she was a serial killer or anything like that. I'll let her come and do her little facial thing. She comes to my house. She's doing the facial, and I'm thinking, she looks pretty put together, and she's selling lipsticks. Who does that, right? So after she was done, I wanted to know how she made her money. And she shared with me that she started her Mary Kay business, and she was selling her products, making 50% commission on everything she sold. I was like, 50% commission, that's not bad. And then I could figure out how to make a budget around that, because I could figure out if I sell this much, I do math. Not really good at it, so I went to law school, but I do enough of it that I could figure out what 50% of 1,000 is, and when I added my bills, I figured out how much I needed to sell. So here I am, for $100, what the heck, right? It's gonna keep me home. I'm gonna stay with my kid. My son doesn't have to go to daycare. And the thing is, whatever they were paying at that law firm anyway was gonna go mostly towards the daycare, and I was gonna miss all of my kids' milestones, and I didn't wanna do that, okay? So I took my life into my own hand. Going back to you create your life. Because this could have been disastrous for someone else, right? Who was autopilot. Don't be autopilot. You are, don't think I'm a lawyer. If I put myself in I'm a lawyer box, I would have never been able to be a Mary Kay consultant. But I became a Mary Kay consultant. Within 2 months of starting my Mary Kay business, I was a Mary Kay director. I had earned my first free car. I drove a pink Cadillac my entire time that I was practicing law. And so I drove, I drove pink. Who drives pink? It's fun.
What do you think when Kara said, Mom, just had to slightly tweak my career choice and now going to Friends and family resistance, what do you think?
That had to be intense.
Good, bad? Sam, would you embrace it?
No.
No.
Especially families from like other countries, I feel like my parents would be very hard on me.
Oh, she was. That was the
Yeah.
beauty of it. She said to me, "Are you?" And of course, when that strong Haitian accent, "You
Yeah.
crazy? What do you mean? You go? You a lawyer?" And I'm like, "Hey, yeah, right." And I said to her, "I understand, right? But guess what? When my bills come in, you never send the money for me to pay them." So I left my parents' house. I was 16 years old. I've never gone back. I've never had, my mom never bought me a book. I put myself through law school. I put myself through college, and so it was just like, whenever you want to send me the money for the bills, let me know what you want me to do with my life. Until then,
You're in charge.
see you later.
See you later.
Okay? And that's another thing. You have to stand for your own life. You have to be the stand for yourself. You get to live your life. You get to experience this stuff. Right? So if you don't love what you're doing every day, I mean, seriously, you don't get today back. You don't get yesterday back. So, I'm going to kind of fast forward because I'm saying this. I wrote a book which got published last November, and it's called 28,000 Days, Make Yours Count. The average human being lives about 75 years, which is 28,000 days. So, you're not getting out of here alive. Sorry, newsflash. And yeah, I know.
Spoiler
It
alert.
takes a little while to sit on you, and you're like, oh yeah, she's right, right? And so, but then you're living somebody else's dream on your life. So that person, so if I allowed my mom to tell me what to do, she got to live her life, and then she's gonna get to live my life, then whose life am I gonna live? I'm not okay with that. So that's how I took my power into my own hand and my life into my own hand. I said, I'm not putting my son in daycare. I will sell lipstick, I will sell skincare, and I did that for 5 years. And guess what? It was through my Mary Kay business that I was able to generate the income to start my law practice. Boom!
You speak with such power and conviction about that, but I know that there was an immense ebb and flow of fear and anxiety riddled throughout that. How did you process that when it was at its peak and its worst, and you wanted to turn your back and go the opposite direction? And how did you embrace it when you began and to get traction and to move?
Great question. I'm going to tell you, if there is one thing that I learned to master, and I really encourage you to start practicing, it's fear. Fear will stop you dead in your tracks if you let it. And the sooner you can embrace the fact that fear is not going anywhere, and that the only way that you will ever get satisfaction in this life is to do it anyway, despite the fear. The minute you can really get that truth, you're free. So fear comes up all the time. But I can acknowledge fear and say, good morning, fear. I see you're here. I know you're not going anywhere, but excuse me, I have things to do. And you just practice that. So yes, fear was at its highest peak when I was doing that, because I was leaving a salary. I was not getting a paycheck every 2 weeks. But that was the most liberating thing I've ever done, because like I said to you, he was paying me less than I was making before law school. And since then, I've made double six figures and you name it on my own, because guess what entrepreneurship gives you? No cap on what you make. You can make as much as you want or as little as you want. If I decide to slow down this year, I can. Because I made enough last year that I can do that if I want to do it this year. Or if I want to accelerate this year, I can. Because there is no cap on how much I can make. I just have to go out in the market and bring more value. Which brings me to my next point is, you are your best gift, your best asset. You want to add as much value to yourself, because Emerson said that the marketplace will reward you in direct what do you call that? Not coalition, in direct relation to the value that you bring to the marketplace. Hear that. If I bring just Kara from college, right, to the marketplace with no additional anything, I'm gonna get what Kara from college with no additional anything gets. But if I decide that I wanna make a little bit more, I gotta add a little bit more value. So I decided to go to law school and all of that, which is great. But you know what the best thing I've ever done for myself is? Self-education. That's how you add value to yourself. So, Jim Rohn, and I was saying that in the car, Jim Rohn said, and you guys look him up if you don't know who Jim Rohn is, because he's like the granddaddy of, you know, like finance and all of that. And
R-O-H-N.
yeah, you want R-O-H-N. Anyway, he said, formal education, classical education, like what you guys are getting here, will earn you a living. Self-education will earn you a fortune.
Wow.
What do you want? Do you want a living or a fortune?
Yeah, we'll take the fortune.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, right? Because think about it. Do you imagine the impact you can have on your family, on your community, on non-profit organizations that are near and dear to your heart when you have a fortune versus when you're earning just a living, right?